There's nothing like saving cash while scaring yourself silly. All across Steam, prices are bleeding out and every add-to-cart click feels like loading another shell before the lights go out. I've hand-picked 10 fresh discounted nightmares so you can jump straight to the good stuff without trawling the store pages. Ready to stock up on fear? Let's dive in. First up is Resident Evil Village, slashed a huge 75% right now, about 9.99 euros or dollars. Picture a snow-blanketed European hamlet hiding where wolfish mutants, candlelit castles, and that 9-foot vampire countess who dominated social feeds in 2021. The game plays in slick first person, with photoreal visuals that make every squeaky floorboard feel like it's inches from your ear. Village keeps the pressure sweet and tight. Ammo pickups are just scarce enough to make every shot matter, but you're never quite empty-handed. A quick block saves your skin, simple crafting tops up supplies, and wandering off the main path rewards you with hidden gems the merchant will happily swap for bigger boomsticks. The layout loops through a central hub, so you choose when to search attics for treasure or face the next towering boss. Steam players rate it very positive, praising its pacing and haunting sound mix. Early launch stutters are long patched out, and if you own a VR headset, the free full campaign mode turns fear into full-body adrenaline. For the price of a lunchtime sandwich, it's a no-brainer addition to your horror library while the sale timer ticks down.
Peggy 16.
Little Nightmares 2, 90% off, about 2.99 euros or dollars. Don't let the pocket money price fool you. This one packs nerves of steel into a 2.5-dimensional package. You guide a paper bag-masked kid named Mono through a crumbling city ruled by flickering TVs, creaking school halls, and a signal tower that warps anything it broadcasts. Even though you're on a side-scrolling plane, the diorama rooms feel almost physical. Reaching into the foreground to grab a key or ducking into the background to dodge a butcher's cleaver looks like stop motion come alive. Controls are simple: run, grab, slide, but chases flip from puzzle to panic in seconds, so you're never idle for long. Steam reviewers sit firmly in the overwhelmingly positive camp, praising its art direction and the gut punch ending. The game is short enough to finish in one intense evening, and there's still a free demo if you want a taste before spending your coffee money. At 90% off, it's the cheapest adrenaline hit on the sale timer right now. Visage, 40% off, about 17 euros 99 cents or $20.99. If you prefer dread that simmers instead of jumps, Visage will ruin your quiet nights in the best way. You're dropped into a photorealistic suburban house that rearranges itself whenever it feels like it, and each chapter dives into the grisly past of a former resident, from broken mirrors to rocking chairs that creak on their own. There are no waypoints or glowing outlines. You explore by flicking on lights, pocketing lighters, and trying not to let your sanity meter snap in total darkness. Every door you open risks a random haunt, a whisper behind you, a shape in the hallway, or a face staring from a bathroom mirror that definitely wasn't there a second ago. Steam calls it very positive, with fans applauding how unpredictable the scares feel even on repeat runs. At 40% off, it isn't pocket change, but the 4 to 6 hour chapters, multiple endings, and optional VR mode make it a solid value for anyone craving a slow burn psychological experience this summer.
What did you see? Okay, never mind, we're coming.
Phasmophobia, 25% off, about 14 euros 60 cents or $14.99. Grab 3 friends, a cheap headset, and the bravest person to hold the spirit box. Phasmophobia turns ghost hunting into the ultimate summer sleepover activity. You load into a creaky house, school, or prison, pick your gear from EMF readers to salt shakers, and use in-game voice chat to coax the spirit into showing itself. Every ghost has its own personality. Some stalk quietly, others sprint the second you say their name, and the new Chronicle update adds fresh evidence rules that shake up veteran tactics. Because it's still in early access, new maps and gear keep arriving, and Steam's overwhelmingly positive tag shows the community's patience is paying off. Solo play is possible, but co-op is where the jump scares really land. Nothing bonds friends faster than hiding in a closet while the hallway lights explode. At a quarter off, it's priced like a pizza delivery, and trust me, hearing your own mic crackle when a phantom whispers back is worth every cent. Amnesia, The Bunker, 70% off, about 7 euros 35 cents or $7.49. Amnesia, The Bunker, drops you into a dim World War I dugout with one goal: Find fuel, keep the generator running, and escape before the creature lurking in the vents figures out where you are. The design is deliciously open for a horror game. You can blast a padlock with a single bullet, pry boards off a shortcut, or risk the darkness to find a code for the safe room. Supplies are scarce, but not cruel. You're always weighing a flare for light against saving it to scare the monster away. A dynamic sandbox means no two runs feel identical, and clever players can outwit the beast with noise traps or improvised explosives. Steam reviewers mark it very positive, celebrating how it revives the tense resource juggling that defined classic survival horror without feeling old-fashioned. At 70% off, you're paying pocket change for a tight 6-hour thrill ride that keeps the adrenaline needle redlining from the first rusty corridor to the final scramble to daylight. Alien Isolation, 75% off, about €9.99 or dollars. If you've ever wondered how long you'd last against a perfect predator, this is the cheapest way to find out. Alien Isolation locks you inside a rundown space station where one creature hunts by sound, sight, and smell. And yes, it actually learns from what you do. Hide in lockers, crawl under desks, or wave a welding torch to seal vents shut. Every move feels like a gamble because the xenomorph can pop out of ceiling ducts you never noticed. You carry a motion tracker, but its nervous ping is almost worse than silence. The art style nails a chunky 70s future. Tape-reel computers, clacky keyboards, and flickering tube lights that buzz as you sneak past them. Steam leaves it overwhelmingly positive, with most complaints just saying it's too stressful to finish in one sitting. Pretty good proof the horror works. At $10, you get the full campaign plus all DLC challenge maps, and it runs smoothly on almost any modern PC or decked-out laptop. If you crave a slow, methodical scare where patience saves your life, grab it before the discount airlocks shut. DREDGE, 50% off, about €12.49 or dollars. DREDGE lures you out to sea in a tiny fishing trawler, hands you a rod, and quietly asks why the fish have too many eyes. By day, you chart bright coral shallows, haul up colorful catches, and play cozy inventory Tetris to fit everything in your hold. After sunset, the fog rolls in, the water turns ink black, and things start tapping the hull from below. Managing time becomes the real villain. Stay out a little too long and your compass spins, rocks shift position, and something with barnacles might ram the bow. Money from your daytime hauls funds engine upgrades, stronger lights, and crab pots that work while you're away. A brand new story expansion called The Iron Rig just dropped, adding fresh islands and mutations, so new players are jumping in right now. Steam shows a 95% overwhelmingly positive rating, with fans loving how the game balances relaxing loops with creeping dread. For half price, it's an easy recommendation, perfect for anyone who thinks horror hits harder when you're steering straight toward it.
Live at the military blockade, the message is clear. The Nox event is contained. I repeat, the Nox...
Project Zomboid, 33% off, about €13.06 or $13.39. If you want a horror game that never really ends, grab Project Zomboid while it's shaved down by a third for the summer sale. From the moment your survivor spawns in isometric Kentucky, the question isn't if you'll die, but how long can you stall it? You'll sneak through suburbs looking for canned soup, rip sheets to bandage bites, and tape baking pans to your arms as makeshift armor. The world is fully open. Drive south for quieter streets, hole up in a farm, or stay in town to raid the bookstore for carpentry manuals. A day-night cycle, spreading fires, and hordes that migrate toward noise keep every decision tense. Jump into solo mode for a true last stand vibe, or spin up a co-op server and assign friends to fortify windows while you siphon gas. Weekly dev blogs show build 42 testing animal AI and new crafting trees, so the roadmap is anything but stale. Steam users rated around 93% positive, praising the freedom and lethal realism. For the price of a cinema ticket, you get a sandbox that can swallow whole weekends. Perfect homework for anyone who thinks they have a foolproof zombie plan. The Mortuary Assistant, 35% off, about €13.64 or $16.24. Ready for a smaller setting with maximum nerves? In the Mortuary Assistant, you clock in for an overnight embalming shift, only to discover one of tonight's corpses is hosting a demon. Your job sounds simple. Drain, suture, fill, but every step risks triggering a haunting. Hallway lights cut to black, cabinets fly open, and once in a while the body on your gurney sits up to smile at you. No two runs line up the same scares twice. A sanity meter pushes you to finish the paperwork fast, yet rushing breeds mistakes that let the demon lock in. Luckily, a notepad records sigils and symbols you spot during manifestations. Figure out the demon's true name, mark the right body, and torch it before dawn to survive. Steam lists the game as very positive, with players applauding how it blends authentic mortuary detail with unpredictable frights. Console ports arrived last year, but on PC you also get a free demo if you want to poke around first. 35% off makes it an easy impulse buy for anyone searching for a horror experience you can finish or fail in an evening. Then immediately queue up again to see what fresh terror rolls next. SIGNALIS, 30% off, about €13.99 or dollars. For a dose of retro dread that still feels sharp, SIGNALIS is hard to beat. You play as Elster, a replica technician who wakes up alone on a snowbound wreck, guided only by half-remembered orders and a pocket radio that hums with coded numbers. The art style mimics an old-school console. Chunky textures, scan lines, fixed camera corners, but the lighting and sound are modern enough to raise goosebumps. Inventory is tight, 6 slots, so every spare bullet forces you to decide which key item gets left behind. Combat is deliberate rather than twitchy. Lining up a pistol shot feels tense because enemies crumple but rarely stay down for long. Between locked doors, you'll spin radio dials to decrypt frequencies, fit circuit boards into wall panels, and dig into scattered documents that hint at cosmic horror experiments gone silent. Steam players give it a sky-high, overwhelmingly positive, praising its atmosphere and story twists without spoiling a thing. The campaign runs 8 to 10 hours, with multiple endings that hinge on how carefully and how recklessly you play. At 30% off, it's a compact, story-rich scare that respects your time and your wallet, making it a smart final pick before the sale clock hits 0. And that wraps our tour of discounted nightmares. 10 games, 10 very different flavors of fear, all bleeding price tags until the summer sale ends on July 10th. Whether you want co-op chaos, slow burn dread, or a single-sitting scream fest, there's something here you can grab today and play tonight. Don't wait. Steam's timer is already ticking, and nobody likes paying full price after the doors slam shut. If you're still hunting bargains, tap the video on screen where I break down 8 AAA Steam Summer Sale steals. Fill that wish list while the discounts last. Thanks for hanging out. Hit the checkout and have a frightfully good summer.